meetings. Good meetings. All right, everybody, away we go. Welcome to today's call. It is Friday, July the 5th of 2019, the day after the July 4th in the United States. So I figured I'd have a lot of my U.S. folk at the beach today. So I am calling on my Canadian team extraordinaire led by Sarah Corey, and we're going to go right to a live call here today and analyze this. And I just want to applaud everybody for continuing to work on this phone call so that we can try to really get this right and figure this out when it comes to getting the right scripting per se, or the right conversation. As you know, in my office, we're just really enjoying some success talking to people in a genuine way, in a helping manner, delivering them information that's important to them, being patient to get what's important to us, and it's working. We now, for this effort here, I think we're in our 14th week or so of doing this particular way.
Yeah, 2 listings up.
Yeah, 2 listings up, and what else?
One's close to luxury.
Yeah, there we go. So, and they're at the right price point. They meet the model, and the people meet the avatar because they're intelligent people and they listen and they accept proper guidance, and we appreciate them for that. So lots of good things happening here, and we want to say, look, don't make this up when you can copy. That's the idea. If you can copy what we do, there's no reason for you to make it up. And making it up means, oh, well, that doesn't work for me, that sort of thing. Yeah, don't go do that. Make it our problem to try to mimic what we do so that we can explain away any differences that might come from different countries, different towns, different villages, different economies, whatever it might be. So we want to make sure that you really pay attention to what we do here, because it's our job to protect you, and we want to do that. So to that end today, our team at Metro City Properties in Toronto has been doing a great job of adjusting. We're thrilled every time we talk to them on their private one-on-ones, how they're doing with it. They're finding a new rhythm. We have Dave today in the hot seat. Dave's really come a long way in his ability to use what I think is authentically his voice and letting people know that he's there to help, and it's really working. And that's, for me, that's exciting. So I want to get to that now, and we'll listen to one of his calls right off the bat. So let me open up the phone and see that we have those guys. I know we have a small group to start here, which I anticipated. So Dave, Sarah, do I have you both?
Yeah, here. Danny, I'm here.
Okay, awesome. And somebody's in a loud spot there. You got to mute your mic there. That's going to be a toughie. So hang on one second. There we go. Thank you. Whoever that was in Arizona, you're the best. All right, let's circle back around in this. Dave, let's preface this a little bit. Give me a little bit of context before I get rocking and rolling here. What call am I listening to? Sarah, maybe he doesn't know. Did you pull it on him and he doesn't know, or what?
Oh, no, we went through it.
Okay.
And chose the call together. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, so you gave him a heads up. That's not fair. That's no fun. We don't get to beat him up.
I'll do that next time.
I like it. Dave, just kidding. Give us a little context here, Dave. Tell us about this call we're about to listen to.
We had done a flyer drop in their neighborhood, and we received an email about the flyer, actually. The person was basically looking for a little bit more information. They were thinking of listing their home by themselves.
Yeah.
And they were thinking about how they were going to price it and that sort of stuff. So my goal on the phone before I called them was to do a little bit of research in the area beforehand, so I knew what the homes were selling for, and try and offer our services in lieu of them going the for sale by owner route.
Okay, cool. So tell me, that's interesting. So tell me a little bit about the flyer. What was in, Sarah, maybe you have to answer this, because we want to know how these people arrive at this moment in time, right? So give me a little bit of an update on what the flyer was, what the intent was, what the hope was.
Yeah, so it's a flyer that folds like a pamphlet, like it has a few folds in it, and when you open it up inside, it has all of our listings, and then it has information about some of the buyers that we have that are looking for properties. So if your home's not listed, how we have a buyer looking for a home that matches that criteria. And then on the back, we have the market update that you have newsletter. We have the one for our city, and we called the flyer the Ottawa Market Update. So when we sent it out, it looks like an official sort of market update in real estate in Ottawa. So we thought people might be more willing to open up the flyer and take a look at it instead of just a postcard.
Okay, cool. So what shows on the outside of the postcard? What's the incentive to open this?
So on the backside of it, it has, just going to grab it, I have it in front of me here. It has the Ottawa Market Report. Like it has the actual
stats,
days on, yeah, the stats.
So they can see that, right? They can see that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm driving. Okay. So the general, and I knew what it was. I just wanted to make sure it was opening the right way. So what you have there is you have the market update for Ottawa on the exposed side of this flyer. So the what's in it for them is to at least peruse that. We get some branding. When you open it up or on the exterior, the offer for because what I heard was the call to action is we have a buyer, right? Is that what it is? Here's what we sold. We have buyers. Go ahead. I cut you off.
Yeah. So we have a buy. So we have the buyers, and then we have get your free home evaluation here, and we have OttawaMarketValue.com.
Okay, cool.
On there that they can go to.
Okay, good. Yeah. So Dave, the call comes in. Is an up call to you? They call in?
They actually sent an email through our website. So they emailed and chatted with me. They sent all the photos and said, "Hey, we see that you have people looking." They sent their pictures of their home, and I said, "That's wonderful." Just kind of sent an email saying, "Can I have a team member reach out to you?" Mm-hmm. And then Dave got on the phone with them.
Okay.
And that was fortuitous too, because it gave me a chance to find them online, find their exact home, and then I would have the comparables for their property already ready, so I knew roughly what their home would be worth before I even made the call.
Okay, cool. All right, so here we go. Let's listen to it, because I don't want you to bias what you did or what you want to do now. I want to get the raw call into the recording here. So here we go. Hang on one second.
Hello.
Hi, may I please speak to Chantal?
Speaking.
Hi, this is Dave. I'm calling from Metro City Property Group at Remax. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
To reach out and give you a thank you for sending us the email with the picture of it and that sort of stuff, and did a little bit of research. By chance, are you on Equilian Way?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, perfect. So you're looking for a closing date in November.
Yeah, we actually bought another Cardell, a block over, backing onto the park. So we have a closing date with them of December 2nd. Mm-hmm. Now, they won't confirm until September 3rd with us that it will be ready on time. So that's our only kind of contingency. We're just waiting for the confirmation on September 3rd. And ideally, we have 3 small kids, so we'd like to only move one. So as close to the move-in date would be the best for us. Okay. So that's pretty much where we're at.
Well, that's nice if you get to stay in the same neighborhood, and maybe the kids get to stay in the same schools and all that sort of same routine's not too bad, when you're even a block away.
Yeah, we love the area. So
they gave you a September 3rd date. Is it a new build or is it something?
It's a new build. Yeah, we're having it built. So they will tell us 3 months prior to our close date of December 2nd that it's a go for sure, 100%. And also we want to port our mortgage, so we're looking within that 90-day window. So there's a couple of things, I guess you could say, that which is why we haven't listed right now, which we probably would have if we didn't have those kind of 2 things.
Yeah, that makes sense. The one thing that you'd hate to do is, let's say that you were to list right now, accept an offer that you like that had a nice closing date that gives you that close to December 2nd, ideally the same day, and then on September 3rd they tell you, no, December 2nd is not going to be ready. Then that just ruins all your plans.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'm pretty confident that they will be on time, but again, anything can happen. So, I mean, worst case, we could find a rental to move into if the offer was good enough. But yeah, ideally, in a perfect world, it would be like we list September 3rd, the second we get confirmation, and hopefully somebody would be willing to move in, you know, at least like 2 weeks to our closing.
So that, yeah, you know, to me, that sounds like a pretty good plan. You did also mention that you guys were thinking about selling by yourselves. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we are going to go with Purple Bricks. We had a townhouse in Canada Lakes 4 years ago that I sold on Purple Bricks by myself. So I do feel confident in doing it. And but again, I am willing absolutely to work with agents who have buyers at 2.5%. So
now, is there a particular reason that you? I mean, doing it before, obviously, you do feel confident that you can do it. And I'm not trying to say that you can't.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I definitely appreciate that. Is there a particular reason why you decide that you'd like to sell yourself instead of using an agent?
I think for most reasons to save on the commission for sure. And yeah, of course. Also, I feel like my house shows really well, but so hopefully we won't have an issue, but who knows? And I know that our neighbor 2 houses down sold for over asking in like 2 days, and another one that was pretty similar on Balakin sold within 5 hours 2 weeks ago. And so, I mean, there are others though sitting on the market in this area, but I feel like we have a unique look to our house.
Have you decided on a price point yet?
Well, we have. I think we're looking at around $649,900.
$649,900. And did you guys contact Purple Bricks for that number?
No.
Or is that something you sort of come up with?
Yeah, like I know like I said, the person on Balakin, whose house was pretty similar with the finished basement, she did, however, have a bedroom in the basement and a bathroom, which we don't have. But we do have a custom built Murphy bed in the basement. And I know they sold at $697.
Yep.
And
that was just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And so she's actually going to be my new neighbor on my new street. And they actually are moving a month after us, so they kind of put the panic button on for us because they went ahead and jumped on the spring market and found a rental. So that's where we're kind of.
It does look to me. I'm just looking at their listing. They did use Royal LePage.
Yes, they did. They used an agent.
So I will tell you a little bit about our team. Metro City Property Group. We are one of the top 5 teams in the city. And the reason that we've come to be one of those top 5 teams is because our marketing strategies don't really work like a normal agent's team would. First of all, we are a team, not a single agent. So that network of being in a team, we're always bouncing ideas off of each other and letting each other know about listings and trying to sell our properties first and foremost. That combined with a relocation network that we have, we're actually on over 200 websites, and people all across Canada, all across the States, and the entire world see our marketing materials, and we're certified by Brookfield to work with relocation clients, which only about 1% of agents in the city are working with. Another thing that we do is we offer guarantees for homes that qualify. One of them is the 24-month buyback guarantee, where we will guarantee that a buyer will love your home. And we give them 24 months. If they don't, we'll buy it back from them, so long as they give you your exact list price. So a few of these things, these marketing strategies, basically at the end of the day, what matters is for you, I'm sure you don't really mind how your home's marketed so long as you get the most amount of money possible. Our track record, we actually get 2 to 3% more money than our competitors. So that, especially when you compare it to someone doing for sale by owner, we actually cover our own costs. So that commission that you'd be paying out 2.5%, if you sort of take the 2 to 3% extra that we get, you end up actually covering our two and a half cut of the commission that we would take.
So would you list higher than what I was thinking, or would you list lower?
So the number that you want to list at, it's good to have that information, but what I think would be the best thing to do for us, for you, is for us to take a look at the home, tell you what we would price it at independently, based on the market. So our idea at the end of the day is, look, we want to price the...
All right, I got to stop because I'm drowning. You there with me, Sarah, Dave?
Yeah.
I'm drowning. There's a couple of strange twists in this where, gosh, you guys just shocked me how Canadians are so nice that she doesn't cut you off here somewhere. Is my gut reaction. I don't know the outcome because I had to stop it, so I had a chunk here, which you could tell me about the outcome. You do have her leaning in at the moment I stopped it because she's asking, she's intrigued, but you're throwing so much at her verbally that how could she follow it? Like I can't follow it. So it's just, where are we going? I mean, it's just, there's good meat here. There's good tonality. There's good rapport. There's some really good factors here that I feel there's a connection. She's a happy-go-lucky young mom who's smarter than the average bear and going to outsmart the market because she's going to use the discounter Purple Bricks. If there's one spot I wish you had gotten to so much earlier, was you knew she was going to go FSBO before you called her. You could probably presume it was Purple Bricks or somebody else. Yeah, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you knew in advance that her neighbor had sold at a certain number and didn't go Purple Bricks, which was a brilliant comeback in that moment, but you lost it. You came in and out of it quickly. And it was so good. It's like, well, you do know that she did well because she also used a full service broker. So what is it that I mean, I get it. You think you're going to save commission, but we'd love to come in and give you a consultation on price and getting yourself prepped. This is what we do every day. You did it once upon a time ago with Purple Bricks. Let us come in and give a free consultation. Get somebody in the door here, Dave. Like, why are we, what are you doing in your mind's eye there? Tell me what you're doing. What are you trying to achieve there?
Well, I mean, I guess I am meandering a little bit.
Not a little bit.
Too long. It could be more.
Not a little bit. A lot. I'm already 8 minutes and 21 seconds into the call, and there's an opportunity here. I feel that, and I don't know how it ends. So I'm happy to play the rest of it to do it full justice. But I was taking notes, as fast as I could here, and like even in the beginning, Sarah, this is on you too. To make sure that these calls are structured. This is what I said when Sarah Van was away. It's not away when she was here. I'm saying, look, where are we going with this if we know the context? These folks need to know this person called in on the flyer. That means one of the calls to action got that person. Is that clearly communicated to Dave before he makes the call? Which one of them got her to call? Do we know?
In terms of the information, I sent him all of the stuff that I have.
Yeah, but okay, but what is it? But here's my very specific question. Either one can answer.
Right.
Did they call in for an evaluation? Did they call in because you said you had excess buyers? Why did that lady who sat on Purple Bricks pick up the phone? Why did she do that?
What she said was, this is our home. Here's some pictures of the home. You guys say that we have buyers. Our home's going to be on the market later this year, in a few months. If you have buyers, I just want them to know about this home. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how they email.
Okay, great. And that's the challenge of making that offer. Sarah, do you have buyers in that neighborhood that are looking for off-market properties, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Have we sent this property to them?
I don't think so.
Okay. So the answer is no. So like there's a huge disconnect between what we offered. Hey guys, somebody messing with their phone? Sorry about that. So Sarah, you still there? Somebody's phone was messing around there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So here's the problem. And the reason I bring up marketing on a sales training call is because you have this guy set up to make this phone call on behalf of the marketing, which speaks first. And the marketing says, we have buyers for homes in your neighborhood. Okay. So how and where did he deal with that? You follow me? How and where did he deal with it? When Autumn's calling expireds, she's dealing with very particularly, I saw your beautiful home online and I saw that it didn't sell. I want to send you some information that'll help you sell it the next time. May I do that? Just 4 beats. We are in and out of there, contextually correct about that. Now we're dealing with off-market properties. I give her an address when I'm driving around. She picks up the phone and we're refining that script, which in essence follows similar beats, right? Because, you know, Danny noticed that your house is, you know, not on the market. He's working with a lot of cash buyers which we are, in the area, wondering if you thought about selling it. Okay.
Boom.
Right. Done.
That's
in and out of Dodge. Right.
Yep.
So.
And I've already got info out on one.
And we have info out on one that could be $2 million.
Big
Yeah.
bucks.
Yeah. Right. So
Big
the
bucks.
point is, if we don't cut to the chase and deal with what's important to them, even if you don't know context, right? But you guys do. So this needs to be way tighter, way cleaner. Hey, just want to thank you for contacting us regarding our buyers in waiting program, where we like to try to match up our buyers with off-market properties. Tell me what's going on.
Yes, we do have buyers.
Yeah.
Reconfirmed.
Yeah, right. We have these buyers. I just want to get a little bit more detail before we blast it out to them, right? I mean, I think that has to be part of this. Otherwise, it's not authentic.
Well, she's not going to take you seriously.
Yeah, hang on one second.
Sorry.
It's not authentic. I want to let that hang in the air for a minute. It is not, I'm not calling anybody a bait and switcher, but it's not authentic if you don't immediately address that offer that you made and fulfill. Sarah, you with me? Because that's more for you, Sarah.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And what happens now is Dave gets on the phone and begins to fumble and stumble his way through this because it hasn't been made clear to Dave. Dave, when we get one of these people, it's the buyers in waiting. It's the evaluation. What did she ask for? If you have multiple offers on a flyer, what did they ask for? What's important to this lady? Well, you know what it was. Sounds like you have a lot of buyers. Saw all these properties that sold. You got her to call. The marketing worked. But now the telemarketing, it sounds weird to me because it's disconnected. It's not a smooth bridge between the market. Oh, hey, thanks for calling. Dave, you should have this flyer right in your face, right? So you're looking at the verbiage that got this lady to react. And now you say, hey, I saw that you called in on our flyer. Appreciate that. We're always trying to match our buyers up with off-market properties. Tell me what's up. How come you're not on yet, right? You get into it. Why are you off-market? Are you coming on? What's happening? How do we get our buyers, if they like this, when we show it to them, how do we get them there, right? So that has to be addressed in here. And Sarah, because it's not organized, when he picks up the phone, he's forced to sort of feel his way in the dark. And if you listen to this call, that's precisely what he's doing. He's feeling his way into the dark, looking for things that are hot buttons so that he can get to this point where I wrote down, he begins to brag.
Yeah, resume giving.
Yeah, it's just weird. And it just like he's going and he's kind of saying to himself subconsciously, is she ready? Is she ready? Is she ready? And then he starts to brag about your resume, which quite frankly is irrelevant at that moment.
It really is.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. And it's blah, blah, blah is what it sounds like. I wrote this down. And Dave, I am not beating you up, by the way. I am saying because you're not oriented correctly from the start, it waters your skill set down. And you are defaulting to try to find a way in on muscle. And it's meandering. Even if this is a successful outcome, it's meandering all over the place. And for a long period of time, this could be so beautifully neat. Oh, you were thinking about purple bricks? How come? Oh, you sold one with them before? Really? Where was that? How'd that go? Yeah, that was a pretty good market back then, right? Hey, did you know your neighbor sold for $6? Yep, I do. She's going to be my neighbor. Oh yeah, she went full service. I liked that. That was there. So what we'd like to do is come out for two reasons. One, we'd like to come out and see it for our buyers in waiting. Where was that? I was waiting for it to come.
That was the only purpose of that phone call.
Get me in there to see this property. Where's the OSA? She came to you. Dave, you got me?
Yep.
You're not. Go ahead.
I get to that. It just, I get to that eventually in the call.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You could have done this in 3 minutes then.
In less than
that. And in fact, bravo for getting there after you threw a rope around your own neck with a rock and tried to swim with it. Bravo. Because if you still got there, I'm impressed that you were able to keep her talking that long. Again, I think it's, and I don't say this lightly, I think it's a Canadian thing. You're also polite to each other.
Yeah.
You could never get away with that
in
here.
America.
No way. Well, not at least in the Northeast, right?
Yeah,
You'd be barbecued. So let's try to use this, that our experience here in the Northeast, where we need to be efficient, concise. Autumn says it every week. Concision is key, and you have to be concise here. There's too many notes that I have that if I wanted to come out with a formula that you were following, I couldn't. You with me? Both you and Sarah, you with me on that?
Yeah.
Davey?
Yep.
Okay, I know hot seat sucks, right? But here's the point. This is going to make you, hey, thank you so much for reaching out to us regarding our buyers in waiting program.
Yes, we do
Okay.
have buyers.
We have the buyers. Want to ask you a few questions about the property and the situation. So it looks like it's XYZ according to what you said. Can you tell me anything else? Did you do anything else like finish basements, etc.? Okay, because we want to know what it is before we send it to our buyers. Next, what's your situation? What are you asking? What are you hoping to get for it? When can you close? It's all business.
Right.
It's all business. I'm a market maker. Play that role. Okay, the next step is we'd like to get Jimmy, the OSA, out here to take a peek at it so he can see the actual condition, location, etc. When would that work for you? Boom, you're out of Dodge.
Less than a minute.
It's all you're over and on to the next one. Like it could have been that smooth if you just looked for the beats. Hi, it's me calling from here. I have this context with you because you did this, and I wanted to match you up with our buyers in waiting, which is the benefit. I have a few questions for you to qualify the property and your timing. Then once you get that, now she's talking about all that stuff. Great. When can we send our partner over to take a peek at it in the flesh before we send it out to everybody? Because it's our fiduciary responsibility to make sure it is what we think it is. Sarah, you got it? Taking notes?
Yeah, I've been taking notes and writing it all down.
Yeah, because you have to set him up for success. And right now you set him up to muscle his way through. All right. Dave, any comments before I play the rest of it?
No.
Okay, here we go.
Dave.
I know, poor Dave. On a nice Friday afternoon.
It's okay, Dave.
Hold on. See if we can get a roll.
Home to make sure that you net the most amount of money possible. If we price too high, you're not going to be reaching the people that are actually going to buy your home. You're going to price yourself into a higher tier of home, and the buyers in that tier are going to see your home at that price and think, no, the other stuff being offered at this price point, I'm going to buy something else. But the danger too is if you price too low, you don't capitalize on how much you can net at the end of the day. So it is a balancing act. It's actually.
How do you know that?
What do you mean?
What you just said. How do you know that? If you price it too low, you're not capitalizing on the net. How do you know that?
Well, if you price it too low, people are going to offer accordingly.
No, not necessarily so at all. I did 8 episodes on a national TV program all about price. We cut it in half, and it shot right up. I don't think you made an accurate statement there. Where'd you get that info? What made you see that? Have you seen experience like that?
I've heard that before.
Yeah, dangerous, super dangerous. That's not necessarily at all how a pricing mechanism works. Pricing is very economically driven by supply and demand, economics 101. If this lady, I couldn't believe how quickly some of the stuff was going, because I made myself a note. Is the market that hot? Question mark, question mark. So if she prices it lower, then there's going to be a ton of people in a frenzy. And the effect of a ton of people in a frenzy is quite the opposite of what you said. It bids it up, and it might even be smarter than pricing it too high. So be careful not to get out over your skis by making those kind of statements, because it might be a thing that turns somebody off, right? I don't know that. So I don't know. It's just, it sounds like you're guessing a little bit here, and it's not experiential. And I don't think this is on you, Dave. I think the training at Metro City around pricing it right, we need a call immediately, Sarah, with the whole team.
It's still 4 beats, by the way.
Immediately, because there's some stuff here that's, and again, talking about price, I quite frankly would never do it over the phone. And here's why. I would talk more so about the system. And I really haven't heard that once yet, almost 9 minutes in. We follow a 7-step system or something like that. If you want to edit what we do here, Sarah, that's one thing. But where is that? Look at, we follow a 7-step system. It's clear. I get it. You're going to go to Purple Bricks. It's not going to be any help. You're trying to save process. When we come in to take a look at it to see if we can match it up, we'll also give you a copy of our 7 steps. So when you go to Purple Bricks, you'll be in better stead, right? You'll be much better off. That bold, that confident, that we're coming in here and we're truly professionals. There's so much opportunity outside sales agent.
Okay.
There's so much opportunity here, Sarah, for these guys and Sarah to be trained better on what the value proposition is here. I mean, he's up against a tough objection. He's up against commission. That's not an easy one for Dave to deal with. And I'm empathetic to him here, because he hasn't been set up for success.
But don't start bargaining.
Well, I like what she just said. Don't start bargaining, because that's what you did. You started bargaining with this lady over the phone.
Like we're going to ask for 3% more.
Yeah. Well, you get. I shut down. My brain shut down.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Dave, you have to understand. You have to understand. The brain is wired to survive your conversation. If you don't allow her to easily survive it and easily get to the next stage, you're just costing yourself more work. So let's keep going. But I could not resist getting on that pricing it right. That's what I want to talk to them about in the house. Don't take all the skin off the ball, when I'm trying to get in the house to talk about that. Because now she thinks, well, you already told me your philosophy, right? Or maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. Here we go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
The first point in our 7-point strategy for making sure that you get the most amount of money.
Bravo.
So what we can do is we can come by and give you an evaluation of your home, tell you what we would price the home at, go over all of our marketing materials, and then if you'd like to work with us, then that's great. We're more than happy to assist you in every possible way leading up to September. And if not, then at least we'll have seen your homes and any potential buyers that we do have. You'll be top of the list because, the neighborhood that you're selling in, we do like to know who is selling their home before it even hits the market.
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
So,
okay, yeah, no, that works.
Okay, so would you be more available during the days or during the evenings?
Yeah, no, during the day. The kids aren't here, so it's less crazy.
So with the kids not being there, is anyone else on title? Is your husband?
My husband.
Yep. Okay, so is he available during the day as well? It would be best if he was there, just because if we're giving you a whole bucket of information, it's really tough for you to sort of take all of that and then give it to him and sort of expect him to.
See right there? See right there, Dave? Those are what's called word whiskers. Okay? Is there somebody else on the title? Yes, my husband. Will he be able to be there during that same time during the day? Yes, he will. Done. But to explain to her almost as if she can't comprehend you could border on insulting. Right? Well, just because he's going to be, why? Why? And so you have to ask yourself, why do you feel such an obligation to go so far into your narrative versus just, and I don't know, like maybe you have to ask yourself this, do you feel inadequate, like you're not doing a thorough job? I mean, to me, I'm an Einstein believer when he says tried to make everything the simplest it can be, but not too simple, meaning you left something completely out. So in other words, great. What day? Days or evenings? Days. Awesome. Okay. Is anybody else on the deed? Yes, my husband. Great. Can he be there at the same time? Yes. Super. Let's book the time. Yeah, but let's just book the time right there, because what I wrote down was, it's when you took the turn halfway through, I wrote started bragging too early, blah blah blah, and then I wrote I'm drowning. I know that sounds like harsh criticism, but I'm trying to experience this for you in a very authentic way to say, dude, you're so good at this, and the pieces are so in there. But it is not yours, our own insecurities that keep us talking, saying too much. They're called word whiskers. We don't need them all. We don't need, once she says yes, once you have her in that march step rhythm to get that appointment and qualified, you don't need to go there unless she takes you there, right? I mean, if she takes you there and she needs to have a therapeutic moment where she has this cathartic statement, she gets it off her chest, and you deal with her, that's one thing.
But then move on.
But if you are the cause of that, which you are here multiple times, you're causing too much dialogue. You have to figure out in your head why. Is it the lack of a structured, call, deck, script, whatever you want to call it? I mean, your qualifying questions. I know it starts all the way back in marketing, and Sarah, you can feel my pain for him is that when we start them off incorrectly, he's had to muscle his way through a 10-minute call. Yeah?
Right.
Sarah, comments? Any thoughts there before I finish the call?
Yeah, I think I have a lot of notes here. There's definitely room where we need to have a tighter script on certain things. I know there's some stuff that they have put into the script that they've been asked to put in. So it sounds like it's not really where it needs to be. I think that, he did turn it into, in the end, a good appointment for the OSA, which is, a great thing considering what he had to work with. But yeah, there's definitely, I'm making all these notes of a lot of work that I have ahead of me. But here, you don't, Autumn's saying what I'm about to say. You're fine. We think you guys are fine. This is a matter of, it's sort of like Hemingway was known for writing and editing 6, 7, 8 times a book. And what he ended up with was beautiful, simple prose that anybody could read and have access to. That's why he's one of the greatest writers of all time, simply because of this idea of editing or chunking up, as I like to say. So in this case, like there's always sort of just the beats. That's a TV thing, right? And if you can remember the beats that you said, that's where I would start here. But it has to come from a point of starting with this flyer. You make an offer in this flyer. You got to hit the beats about the flyer. Recognize it. Thank you for coming in on our flyer. We see that you're interested in our off-market buyers and waiting program. I'd like to ask you a few questions about the property and your timing and your price, etc. Would that be okay? May I do that? I like her language better. May I do that? Yes. Permission. Now I go down. Okay, great. Tell me about it. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Where was all that? I have to give this to my buyers. I have to know. I'm a market maker. What do you got? What do you got for me? Up 649.9. Great. What does it have? Super. Looking at the comps down the street. What's the difference between the one at 679.9 and you? Now I've got them talking about their product. Okay, here's how this works. We send somebody out and they come take a look at the property so we can just get a physical, look at what you just told me. So I've taken all the notes and I'm going to send Jimmy out what works, days or evenings. Hey, by the way, while Jimmy's there, he will share with you our 7-step plan for getting this thing sold for top dollar. Okay? Were you thinking about listing traditionally? No, thinking about purple bricks. Okay, no problem. Any reason why? Yep, want to save commission. Wonderful. We're still going to come out as a thank you for letting us to come in and see it pre-marketing. Jimmy will go over the 7 steps with you as well to help you get top dollar with our buyers or anybody. Now Jimmy's in the house. Now he nails it down, right? You let him do that job. You just supply Jimmy. Say, Jimmy, she's thinking about going. I'm making up this name. Jimmy, she's thinking about going with purple bricks. She's done it before. But here's the good news.
Guy down the street smashed it at 679.9. He's got a better house, and he went with Royal. So let's get in there and let's see what you can do when you're nose to nose. Now, if he's following the way that I get sent out, he comes in as if he is fully prepared to give a listing presentation. Yes, of course, he's going to get the nickel tour for his buyers, but he's also going to get the nickel tour to relate our 7-step plan to them. Hey, here's our plan. Here's where we go through all this stuff in detail. And here's what the analysis looks like. We did this for you so you can see where you would trade. I know it's a pretty tight market here, but we still think these factors matter. Here's the net sheet. Here's what you would walk away with. So, hey, by the way, wink, wink, for a couple more points, you could have full service. Why not? It's just smooth. Because when you make it a franchise prototype way of doing things, things just smooth themselves out. All right, let's listen to the end of it. I think. Let's see. Can't get a roll. Let me reset it. Hang on. Sarah, any thoughts after I just went through that?
No, I guess the big thing was he had approached the call to book the CMA right there, and instead of talking about the buyer. And definitely, there were beats that were missed right at the beginning of the call. I think too, for him, when she sent that email, she had given a lot of detail about her house, so that might be part of the reason why there weren't the beats hit about what she's done to the house or how many bedrooms and stuff, because she had included that in an email.
Yeah, but he should reiterate that.
So,
he should reiterate that.
Okay.
No, don't ever take that for your people will support what they help create, right? One of my favorite lines that I heard somewhere on the line.
Yeah.
They will support what they help create. So she created an initial moment with you back and forth. He creates it again with her. We're building rapport. We're building interest together. And we're helping and assisting in this process. Yes, we will try to find you an off-market buyer who meets your timing. We got to get in there. Yes, we will guide you. All right, I get it. Everybody thinks Purple Bricks is going to do this. Hey, guess what, Dave? By the way, did you see the news? Purple Bricks has withdrawn from the United States. They got slapped down here, right? So everybody that wants to everyone that wants to take away value that you have, Dave, and this team has, okay, only in a white-hot commoditized market can they pull it off in the long run. Otherwise, they are losing and giving away tremendous value, including in my marketplace, overpricing for far too long and not getting it done and missing segments of the market. So discounters have been around forever. They'd love to erode the margin here because they're such geniuses, and it just doesn't work like that. So there is always value. Say, look, whether you think Purple Bricks is the answer or not, humor us when we come out. We're going to look at it for our buyers. We're also going to give you our 7-step plan. You finally got to it, but you glossed over it, right? I mean, you said, yes, pricing, after you went on and on and on about pricing, you said that's actually the first point in our 7-point process. Wonderful, finally, but then you zipped right through it again, right? Don't do that. That's what makes you guys unique. Full service agents have a plan that they guide somebody with. Don't devalue that. Stop selling the dang resume of Metro City. It's not relevant until it's relevant, which is when they're ready to be tipped over. Otherwise, it's bragging and it sounds defensive. Sarah, that's more for you, for the whole staff. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that. It worked in the marketing to validate an offer. See all these solds? We have buyers in waiting. We'd love to match up with you. It validates it there because it's sold, S-O-L-D. And we have more buyers. So coupled together, it's wonderful in marketing. It gets totally lost here. All right, let me see if I can pick this call up. Yeah, it's not gonna pick it up, guys. But I'm going to presume you got there and it was good. Dave, wonderful tone. Fabulous pace. You're just such a good human connector. But now it's time to edit yourself, right? You're better than having to go on and on. And I think as people are improving in sales, because this was me, Dave, I would go into a house and I would give a listing presentation for 90 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, because I kept saying, well, because, and you should. And I was talking so fast and so long at people that I wasn't giving myself an opportunity the conversation was there, but it wasn't structured. See, I believe that.
How long would you say you do now?
Oh my gosh, the last two have been 45 minutes from the minute I hit the door. I walked through the property for the nickel tour. I sat down, asked them, do they really want to do this? Why are they doing this? I pushed the package across the table. I go through the 7 points. I deep dive into the 3 on marketing. I come back, ask if there's any questions. I then go to the technical analysis, which further dives into the first point, right? Which is the pricing it right. And then they ask me typically, how much does this cost? AKA, what's your commission? I say, well, let's talk about the whole net sheet, not just commission. And they typically 95% of the time have a pleasant experience seeing their healthy bottom line. 45 minutes on the last two, almost on the nose. And I'm telling you, Dave, they were the best presentations that I have given in a long time because they both looked at me and said, thank you so much. Wow, wow, wow. That was so helpful. They pointed to the 7 steps. This was really great. They pointed to the analysis, the net. Thanks so much. I knew, but like, it's not me saying they were the best. It's these people saying that was so helpful that makes me believe that over the course of 20 years, the most concise but yet thorough process I can give them is the best one. And that just evolved thanks to all of you and my own deal, where in the heat of the moment, I was looking for my net sheet. And now we have a better intake form with Autumn where she's asking, what did you pay? Did you put money into it? Do you have those receipts? The reason I'm asking is because we're trying to make your case to the buyers who are going to ask us this. So we start to really see what's in it for them, and we go boldly in that direction, not weak. You talk about weak language, Autumn. I also don't want a weak system, right? It's not just a language. You don't want a weak system.
No,
we are professionals. You're Purple Bricks. You're going to get this from Purple Bricks? Oh, hell no, right?
Precision is strength.
For sure. So 45 minutes, I was in and out. One guy is calling us back. The other lady's rented to August, but both have been put on follow-up for solds. We're talking about sending out the drone. I mean, really good rapport. So 45 minutes in the house.
And can I just say one thing, Dave? I want to compliment you on conversational style.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you were over talking, you were extremely conversational, and I don't want you to change that for wit. You also, conversational. The over talking kind of lessens your confident sound,
right.
But you're going to amend that. So you're going to have conversational and confident down. And Sarah, I'm saying this to you too, and I'm putting this in the notes for you guys. I want you to print them and have them there so that you will remember. It's this whole process, Dave, that you want to do is still 4 beats only. It's your name, your agency, that's your introduction. Number 2 is reinforce the reason that she reached out. 3 is ask for pricing and important details. 4 is ask for the time for them to come out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. This is never more than 4 beats. So congratulations, Dave. You're doing a wonderful job. And Sarah, you're doing well also. So don't beat yourself up. But concision always comes down to concision. There's a lot of power and strength in concision. Yeah. And everyone needs to just learn how to stick to the point, because listen, I don't want a stranger in my house for 90 minutes or 2.5 hours. It's like an insurance salesman who won't get to the point. Yeah. It's horrible.
It is.
But if you come in,
or on the phone for that matter, same thing.
If you come into my house for 45 minutes and you tell me everything, man, I'm going to love you and I'm going to call you.
Well, if you empower me, but if you empower me, you have to empower me, Dave, with the right info. I wanted your buyers. Where are they?
Right.
I never heard you talk about it. That's the point.
Right.
I called you for your buyers. You said you had them. Now you got to struggle. Yeah. Now you got to struggle through. That is the shoehorn that will get you into the conversation about listing. It will, but just not the way you were doing it there, as smoothly. Let's just put it that way. You're still effective, and I agree with her. Your tone and your patience is fantastic.
It's beautiful.
Man, I like playing your calls on this call because they're so dang articulate. everybody can hear the words.
Right.
So bravo, 5 gold
there's
stars.
nothing wrong there. It's once again with most salespeople, it comes down to concision. And I have put in the notes the 3 questions that you ask yourself after every call. Was I confident? Was I conversational? And was I concise? And I've given you hints so that you can accomplish that.
Cool. All right. Terry, I think I see you out there. I would love to hear from you for a few minutes here about what you heard there as we start to get you and Karen pursuing those expireds and kind of hitting the beats. I don't know if you're still out there or anybody else wants to ask a question. I know I have a very small crowd here today because we're in the middle of a holiday week in the States. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yep, Paul, go ahead, bud.
Can someone tell me the app they're using to record their own calls on their iPhone?
That app was up in the group, and I'm trying to remember what it was. Jake, can you look up in
Tape it call. Tape a call, Paul. You turned me on to it.
Tape a call?
No, I didn't, dude. What does it mean? I don't know. I don't know.
Chris, say it again out loud. You broke up.
Tape a call. I have it on my iPhone. I could have swore that Pablo turned me on to it.
Okay, all right. Tape a call.
Okay, I'll look it up. Maybe.
Tape a call is one of them, but also, Paul, if you tag Jake Chase or Helena Judge inside the mastermind, they have one too that they've picked up because they have a Homevestors background, and they use a good tool there too. I can't remember the name of it, but that's
what are their names again?
Yeah, Jake, Jake Chase, tag him, and Helena, Helena Judge. They'll both come up.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, awesome. Yeah, Paul, I'd love to hear some of
Danny,
yours. Terry, go ahead. Terry, go ahead.
I mean, I have found even if we're not talking, I mean, I know we're talking about expires, but even if you're not talking about expires and it's just a regular lead, the longer you take, that's when you really start to sound like you're selling yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
And you don't sound as confident.
Right.
And, and that's where I've lost people, you know, especially when I had first started, because, you know, the quick and to the point is what they really want, because they don't want you to take up a ton of their time.
Well, it has to be
on the phone. Anyway.
Yeah, Terry, wouldn't you agree? It has to be valuable to them on the phone, right? There has to be value in this phone call.
Yep.
And even if it's something.
I mean, I've only just started Expires for a couple weeks now, so I mean, I am in no way, shape, or form going to be anybody to give any sort of advice. I've had a little bit of success with it, but I've literally just dipped my toe in it so far. Stick
to what we have found to be successful. Very particular language that has bubbled up that has a lot to do with trigger language, so that somebody knows you care about them. I know that always sounds weird to salespeople, but somebody needs to know that you're using caring language. I saw your beautiful home online is caring language, and I saw that it didn't sell. It is caring language. I care about what it looks like. I care what happened to it.
Right.
So because of those things, I sent you something to help you sell it the next time. So now there's anticipation. Who are you? Why are you being so nice to me? And you sent me something, right? May I do that is the complete flip the thing on its head, because it's permission marketing. So if you can hit those 4 beats when you're doing it, it's just completely authentically different and authentically caring. And I think what I've learned from allowing it to evolve is that it is just what the consumer wants. Care about me, send me something, let me digest it, and then I'll give you a shot at the second, opportunity, which is you could call me back. Not that you could come in my house. I don't know you. Send it to me. Let me see if it's what you say it is. By the way, that's what I was talking to Sarah about. When they call on that marketing piece, let me call them and see if they really have this.
Right.
And at the moment, answer's no. There's no proof.
Right.
There's no proof, right?
I've also when I, when you get on the phone with somebody, and I mean, we've been doing this all for so long that you can.
Yep.
With a couple people, I kind of flipped script and went into the reason why I was calling is we have currently so many pre-qualified buyers, and there's not enough inventory out there, and that changed their tone.
Which is
to
really
allow me to get in there
Terry,
and say what I have to say.
Terry, that's really true for you. So when you say that with authenticity, It's really
I
true.
deleted the open houses for Esplanade this weekend. I had one scheduled for Saturday, one scheduled for Tuesday.
Hold on. Paul, did we lose Paul? Terry, go ahead and finish. Paul was talking in the background. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, Paul. It's all good. I didn't know whether you were trying to weigh in or what you're doing. Go ahead, Terry. I really want to hear this. Did you agree with what I just said?
Yeah. So, you know, absolutely. I mean, our inventory is unreal. Like, I've been doing this 5 years now. I'm coming up on my 6th. I've never run into a market like this where we legitimately, I'm getting people pre-qualified and we cannot find what they're looking for. So, you know, that's where Karen was like, we really need to get onto these, you know, sellers and the expireds to come up with some inventory. And so just the other day, I had a guy who literally, I could tell the second I even just said who I was, that he wanted nothing to do with me. And so instead of going into like his expired per se, like, you know, about his home, I had just mentioned that I knew he had been listed, and we have so many pre-qualified buyers that I've gotten to a point where I don't know what else to do but to call people that have already listed one to see if we can come up with inventory for these people. Yep. And literally, he was like, interesting.
Yep, I like it. I think because you authentically have it, now you and Karen and I have to make it a very clear system. That okay, tell me a little bit, just like we just did. Tell me a little bit about the property. Same thing that Autumn's doing with these off-market things that I'm driving by, and I'm saying, let me take a look. Let's take a look at this, but get me in there. You know, how does she get me in there? Same way. Let me send you some information about us. Let me send you some information about what's sold around you, so that we can begin to give you a feeling for who we are, what the market's like for properties like yours. But really, Danny needs to get in there for a few minutes, take a look at it, so he knows what he's talking about when he talks to these people. And more so to guide you on what, in its current condition, it may trade for, what it could get, right? And you know what? There's nothing better than what's real. There's no stumbling and fumbling. And I think we have to get the inside sales telemarketing staff off of this resume idea. It's just not important to somebody at that moment in time. When they say, who are you? Say, well, look, I'm going to send you out a package of who we are that includes our 7-step plan. I mean, I want you to know me in the context of a guide. I don't need you to see my resume at that moment. If you need my resume, just go to thegriffin.co. Take a look at some of our featured properties that are active and sold. You get plenty of a feeling for who we are. But in the meantime, it's about you. Let me send you something that will tell you the way we treat people and who we are, right? So I think we just keep it real, and we're much better off. Make sense?
Yeah, and I mean, that's what people have always said to me, like, I don't know how you do what you do. And I'm not a salesperson, really. I'm more just authentic and genuine, and I think that's what comes across salesy, but it's not car salesy.
Well, first of all, I think there's this weird thing out there that there's this perception that dominates what telemarketing is about or is perceived to be, which is a cold call and a hard sell. And I hate that. I hate it when it happens to me, and I would hate my company to be built on it. So we don't do that at all. And what we do is far more effective than that, because we don't walk out of here exhausted every single day because we pounded on people and muscled them into doing what we did. When are you going to hire the right person? Ouch. I mean, what? I couldn't believe the first time I ever read that script. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, who talks to each other like this, right? So if you just say, look, I saw that this happened to you. I have this thing. I don't know if it will work for you, but let's get it to you. Let's have a conversation about it. I mean, I'm presuming you want to sell the house. Do you still want to sell it? Yes. Okay, great. Then let's try this. And I think if you just go at it that way, no matter what the context is, you're in good stead. All right, listen, we're at the end of the call. Terry, thanks for weighing in. Can't wait to hear some more as you go further with that and we refine it. But stick to some of the things we found effective here. Dave, Sarah, you guys rock. You guys are really the best for sitting in that hot seat. Dave, it's all positive, but you got to get, the fire under you. And Sarah, from a marketing standpoint, it is on you and the boys and I to make this a smoother transition to them, right? Make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. See, this is why we do it. Thanks for showing up. You weren't at the beach. I love you.
Thanks, Danny.
Okay, you bet. Thanks, everybody. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Thanks, Danny.
Okay, take care, Chris. See you, bud.
Hey, I'm at
What?
I'll say I'm sitting poolside working.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, man.
You two bums, get
Don't
out of
be
here.
throwing shame out there unless you know it, son.
I saw you two in here.